often now people tend to compare China with Japan and draw the analogy, and also people sort of very much worried about kind of Japanization of China's economy. Some extent, yes, but actually there are a lot of differences. So let me first explain the differences. The first, at the time of Japanese bubble, not only the real estate, but also equity market was really the bubble. And so the impact, the magnitude of the bubble was sort of an entire industry, not just the concentration of the real estate. So this is the big difference, I have to say. Well, also the magnitude, also in terms of magnitude, let's say at the time, well, people said the Tokyo downtown, the price, aggregate price of Tokyo downtown was equal to the California, an entire California, which sounds absurd, but that was what happened. So in terms of the size of the bubble, the magnitude is different. So yes, there are similarities, but because of those differences, the impact could be different. So then, coming back to the policy measures. So as I mentioned, so the impact of the bubble was all over the industry for the case of Japan. But for the case of China, this is very much focusing and concentrated in the real estate. So if the government can provide a proper measure, they may be able to sort of stop the decline of the real estate market. But another difference is, if you look at the GDP, almost 1/4 of GDP China is real estate. So this is also quite unique. And this is also the difficulty of China to transform their economy. So they need to really clean up some sort of kind of a non-performing loan. Well, the big question is how they can finish the uncompleted construction. Well, I don't know. Probably the government needs to pay something, and they can finish the construction. But how to do it? That raised a lot of questions. Also, another difference is this real estate problem is also linked with the local government debt issue. This is also very much different from Japan. So for the Japanese case, the debt was very much concentrated on the entire industry. But the case of China, real estate sector, but actually that is very much linked to the local government. And also, this is really sort of well, maybe I should say this was the engine of sort of a local government to keep the economy rolling. But they need to change. And how? This is going to be the big question. So first, at least the Chinese government need to clean up some of the debt. Probably it's not easy to clean up everything because various political issues. But at least to maintain some sort of a political confidence for the first-time home buyer, they need to do something. And second, they need to, particularly local governments, they need to transform the way to raise funds, raise revenue, not relying too much on the real estate development, but also the other industry. But this is very easy to say. It's very difficult to implement. And also, the big question is, can local governments pick the right industry? And unfortunately, history tells that the public sector cannot pick the industry. So that's the kind of difficulty. Again, there are similarities, but a lot of differences. And the impact is, I would say, not as large as Japanese bubble. So if the government can provide right measures, bottom can be much shallower than the Japanese bubble.